So, I mean, when China's not going to change its position, America's not going to change its position, and it seems like, you know, the point for Antony Blinken's trip to Beijing is just don't make things worse. Then it can be called a success. What's the point of his trip even?
Probably not at all. In fact, there are many people in Washington who think it's a waste of time. We haven't had a Secretary of State there in 5 years since Mike Pompeo, well, which ain't saying much. Anyway.
I mean, that's significant in itself, isn't it? Because there's been so much time between drinks.
Well, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
That was a joke about the marriage council. It's been a long time between sessions.
It was a good joke, I got to say.
Matter of fact, yes. And look, I also want to say I was born 3 months early, and I turned out all right, too. So I like your story there about people who are catching up with their education.
Yeah.
I was in one of those little damn cribs for 3 months before I got out of the hospital. So
my son, my son.
But look, the world is still there. And what I thought was important over the last. Go ahead.
You were born 3 months early, Joe.
I thought it was important over the last days is President Putin says we've got nuclear weapons now in Belarus, and President Biden yesterday says what? He says he's not going to fast track Ukraine into NATO. So they're actually talking to each other in terms of nuclear weapons and in terms of NATO admission. So I think Biden's got the idea that we're not going to go to war. We're not going to put troops into Ukraine. And Putin has simply delivered the hard message to the Americans. If you want to go into Ukraine, or if NATO wants to go into Ukraine, you're going to be looking at tactical nuclear warfare, which, by the way, can be fought and can be won.
All right. Oh, you were born 3 months early, Joe. 3 months.
I haven't. And it's worse than that. It's worse than that. I had a twin brother. I got a twin brother out there somewhere. He's out there somewhere.
All right. But, you know, you're one of my favourite chats of the week and have been for several years, Joe Siracusa. So that's done nothing to harm your intelligence. So I put it that way.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon. Joe Siracusa.